So we are solving equations here. The first thing you have to figure out is what is going on and what I need to do to get rid of what is with my variable. So what is the operation between the r and the 15? What's happening here? Division. So I need to do the inverse of division, which is multiplication. Multiply both sides by that 15, right? And you're going to get negative 165 as your answer here. That is a one-step equation. There's only one step involved there. All right. Number 2 is also a one-step equation. Number 2, we have to figure out what operation's happening. What's happening between the 2.5 and the x? Addition. So to make this guy 0, it's a positive. I need to subtract that 2.5 from both sides. Now, here's the thing. You have an improper fraction and a mixed number. So you want to I would make both of them improper fractions. All right. So if I am changing this into an improper fraction, I'm going to multiply the 2 times 2, which is 4, and add the 1, which is 5. So I have 17 over 6 minus 5 halves. I also have one more thing I need to do if I am subtracting fractions. What do I need? Common denominator. Yeah, common denominator. What is my common denominator here? 6. So I already have a 6 on the first fraction. I just need a 6 here. So multiply top and bottom by 3. So I get 17 over 6 minus 15 over 6. X equals 17 minus 15 is 2 over 6. I'm not quite done. What can I do to this one? Reduce. 2 goes into the top and into the bottom. So to reduce, I'm going to divide by that 2. I will get 1/3 here. So 1/3 is my answer. So for this one, I actually have to simplify my side first. All right. And this is going to be a multi-step. Anytime you have parentheses, you're going to have to distribute to get it out of parentheses. And so my first step here is to simplify this right-hand side. I'm going to simplify by distributing this negative 4. So I'm going to leave this 4 on the left-hand side alone, and on the right, I'm going to say negative 4 times positive 5 is negative 20. Negative 4 times positive n is negative 4n. All right? And then this is multi-step, so I'm going to have to do 2 things here. I need to get rid of that negative 20, and then I need to get rid of the negative 4. For the negative 20, it doesn't have a variable with it, so I just add or subtract to get rid of that one. I specifically want to zero it out. It is negative 20. To zero out a negative 20, I need to add 20. Anytime you are moving across the equal sign, which is what we're doing here, we're going to do the opposite. It should cancel out on one side, and then on the other, I am going to just do my operations. 4 plus 20 is 24. And on the right-hand side, I have a negative 4n. Make sure if you have a negative in front of that, it comes down with it. All right, that negative needs to stay with that 4. Now I need to decide what's happening between the negative 4 and the n. What is happening there? What? Yeah, so it's multiplication. So to get rid of it, yeah, I divide. Yeah, so what you're going to do here is to divide. So we are going to divide both sides by negative 4. All right. On the right-hand side, it cancels, and I just have my n. On the left-hand side, 24 divided by negative 4 is a negative 6. All right. So you should have gotten a negative 6 there. For this one, I have 2 sets of parentheses I need to get rid of. I'm going to do the same process, but now I'm going to actually have to simplify more after I distribute. Once again, I'm going to distribute the negative 4. Negative 4 times x. Negative 4 times positive 3. Then I have to distribute this 5. Positive 5 times positive 2. Positive 5 times negative 5x. Now, when I have multiple variables on one side, I need to combine like terms. The number one mistake I typically see here is that people try to do the opposite when they're on the same side of the equation, okay? These two, when you simplify them, are not moving across the equal sign. You are just combining them, meaning you keep the positives and negatives the same here. So I have a negative 4 and a negative 25. That's negative 29x. Same with these. A negative 12 and a positive 10 gives me a negative 2. So the only time you do the opposite is when you're shifting across that equal sign to add or subtract. In this case, I need to move that 2 over, so I do need to add it because it is being subtracted. On the left-hand side, I'm left with just negative 29x. Don't forget that you have an equal sign, and you have 58 there. My final step is to divide by negative 29. 58 divided by negative 25 gives me what? Negative 2 is my answer. 32. When you have something like this, you need to simplify both sides first. So whatever you need to do. My first step here then would be to distribute the negative 6. All right, so I'm going to take the negative 6 times positive 3, that's negative 18. Negative 6 times positive 4r is negative 24r. And that equals negative 5r plus 39. All right. You then need to get variables to one side and numbers to the other. So every other one that we've looked at so far, you haven't had variables on both sides. So this step here will always be addition, subtraction, okay? Addition and subtraction to get the variables to one side, addition and subtraction to get the numbers to the other. And then you will multiply or divide, all right? So if I were to add this 5r over, it's going to cancel here, but I have to add it to this light term over here, okay? And when I do that, I will get, yes, negative 24 plus 5 is going to give me negative 19r, all right? And I still have this negative 18 right here, and I still have this positive 39 right here, okay? So all I did was shift my variables. Well, now I need to shift my numbers, okay? And you can do it all in one step if you want to. That's fine. Just make sure you do the opposite sides. If you move your variables to one side, numbers need to go to the other. So now I'm going to have to shift this 18 over. Here I'm going to add it because it's a negative 18. I want it to zero out. All right. And I have negative 19r equals, I will add that, 57, all right? And then my final step here is to divide both sides by that negative 19. So it's basically the same concept, but you have to add or subtract variables over, and you have to add or subtract numbers to the other side, and then you will multiply, divide. Whereas the other ones, you really just have to move the number over with addition and subtraction, then you're ready to multiply and divide. You actually need to shift variables and numbers first, and then multiply or divide. In it. All right, my first step is to distribute. So I do not add this 1 and 3 because I can't. The 3 is kind of attached to that parentheses right now. To unattach it, I have to distribute it. So my first step here then is to distribute this 3. I'm going to leave the 1 alone, and then I'm going to say 3 times negative 5x. That's going to give me negative 15x. 3 times positive 8 is going to give me 24. On the right-hand side, I also have to distribute negative 5 times x, negative 5 times positive 3. I still want to simplify both sides as much as possible before I start shifting variables and numbers. So on this left-hand side, I do have a 1 and a 24 that can combine. I leave the negative 15x alone. 1 plus 24 is 25. Remember, when you are just combining terms, you don't do the opposite. You only do the opposite when you're going across the equal. All right? So for that one, I didn't have to do the opposite yet. Now I am ready to shift things around. So I need to move my variables to one side and my numbers to the other. Doesn't matter which side you do. If I move my variables to the left, I'm going to add that 5x to both sides, which means I need to move my numbers to the other side. So I'm going to move that 25 over, cancel it here, and move it over here. And then I just simplify negative 15x and positive 5 is negative 10x. Negative 15 and negative 25 is going to give me negative 40. So once I have added or subtracted my variables to one side, added or subtracted my numbers to the other, then I will multiply or divide. At this point, I'm going to divide negative 10. Negative 10. X is going to equal positive 4.